Shut the fuck up, samurai. We have a city to burn.
Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. It is I, your t-shirted historian, back with another Week in Geek. And I hope you like that intro music. Probably won't be able to keep using it, but I love Health, and I just got that album, and it's so fucking good. And I had to play one of the tracks from it. And yeah, they haven't given me any kind of copyright permission on that one, so if you caught it live, you're lucky, because chances are I'm going to end up having to take that music out for the future, the foreseeable future. But, you know, for now, we're, you know, I'm going to throw a little support at Health, and maybe if they're nice enough, they'll go back and they'll say, oh, look, he was actually, you know, like shooting for us. So, you know, we'll let him have this one. But I don't know. Health is such a big group now. I remember when they were nobodies, but they're pretty hot now. And funny thing is, I tested this before I actually uploaded it, and YouTube said it was blocked in Russia and Belarus. So I'm kind of like, I don't give a fuck.
They're just gonna have to miss the awesomeness then.
They're just gonna have to miss out on it.
You're imposing some of your own sanctions.
There you go. There you go. I don't care if people in Russia and Belarus can't hear the opening music. So you know. So how is everybody? We got Jace, we got Mackany, we have Grim. Grim, I hope you're feeling okay, my man.
Hey, Grim just popped in here. Hey.
Yeah,
Hello,
I know how you feel. I feel like I think I've swallowed like about like at least a half a gallon of phlegm. I don't know. I got like some kind of upper respiratory bronchitis bullshit going on, and it really sucks.
I just feel like I swallowed a lot of you t-shirts, so but it's fine.
Well, you know,
Sir.
I like you, Jace, but not in that way.
Not even 5 minutes into the show, and it's already twig after dark. Gotta love it.
I'm telling you, man.
What have I gotten myself into?
Yes. And we do have the wonderful ANIMAINE. It's good to see you again.
What's up, beautiful people? Glad to be back on this Weekend Geek. The Weekend Geek. Let's get it.
I'm so happy you're here. You're not here enough, but we love it when you are.
Hell yeah. Well, look, man, that's why it's just like you can't break out the fine china just to have every meal, man. You got to break it out at the right occasions. You can't break out the best, the vintage wine and everything. You got to let it age after a while. You got to miss it. Then you bring it out and you're like, oh my God, I should drink this every night. And then you put it back away for like 3 months. That's basically what I am, y'all. That's basically
like filet mignon is like amazing, but if you have filet mignon every night, you're going to get sick of it.
Right. This is also true, and I'm so glad you were talking about meat.
Oh my God,
that's right. Well, come on, count it.
That popping noise. The noise that it's making.
Oh, this noise? 10. 11.
What? Harder. Oh, yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh,
I am so glad you can't
bro.
see my face right now. Visible.
My God, man.
Hey, I'm gonna give the VTubers some props. Okay, I've learned a lot in the last couple of weeks. You know, there's a couple of really big companies that are going against each other. There's like Holo Live, and then there's VShojo, and Holo Live has a streamer that I kind of like. Her name is Iris, and it's kind of sick, man. She debuted 8 months ago. That was her first stream. She's already got 800K subs.
Yeah, the whole YouTuber thing is just crazy. It's blowing up.
It is so crazy, and I'm
it's
just
blowing up like Hiroshima.
Yeah.
Do I need to get on that? I might need to get on that.
I don't know,
ANIMAINE VTuber. You have a sub. I'll sub.
I used to use a VTuber.
Well, you know,
time ago.
I'm telling my friend yesterday, I'm kind of like, I was cheated at birth, because if I'd have been born with, breasts and butte, I would have been a VTuber, and my subs would have just blown through the roof, probably with, a lot of horny kids who,
And a lot of horny old men.
The thirst is real.
Yeah.
It is real in these streets. Speaking of which, I do got to shout out real quick that part before the song started playing for the intro, the squeakness like that. Yeah. I was not expecting that, like the Spanish Inquisition, but I appreciated the hell out of it.
That's the thing. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. That's the whole point.
Exactly. But just like that, I wasn't expecting that. But I appreciate the hell out of it. So kudos to your producer.
Oh, thank you.
That was great.
Actually, well, I'm the one building my videos and stuff, so I thought that was pretty funny. So I had to throw it in there.
That was dope.
That's Vebe. I do watch her. She's funny.
Awesome.
Oh man, she's like playing Super Mario, and it's just like she's like every other word out of her mouth is fuck. Like seriously, I'm like, oh my God, you get such a mouth. I love you.
A woman after my own heart.
Yeah. Oh, Lord Thoth, are you still out there in the audience, or did you drop out? Let me know.
Did you drop off to Earth, sir?
Yeah, drop off to Earth. Well, it's like he was telling me that he's on vacation for 2 weeks, and I'm like, oh.
2 weeks. Excuse me? 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Things are getting hotter.
People will never get over how disturbing that scene really is.
What
when you
in
see it that way.
God's name?
You know what's
was
even
that?
more disturbing?
Ash.
Cry boobs.
Hey, man.
Hey mate, how's it going?
Ash, that was from Total Recall, the original one.
Oh, never seen it. That's why.
Of course
Surprising
not.
no one.
You want culture?
I'll get around to it.
Hey, Ash,
Yeah,
did
mhm.
you
Put it on the
like the
list.
new food I gave you in the basement? Is
Ew.
it working?
What food? You haven't given me shit since that strawberry.
Oh. All right, I gave it to Diego. I'm so sorry, man.
Yeah.
That's just a strawberry.
I'm going to have to go kidnap Ash from England, bring him over here to my place, and just tie him to a chair and just make him watch my video collection.
Too bad he's not there anymore.
Don't threaten him with
He's
a
in
good
Norway
time.
now.
Guys,
you know?
you heard it here first. Premeditated kidnapping.
Jokes on
I'll
you.
make
He's
sure-
into that shit.
I'm sorry, Ash, I couldn't hear you over your bantha.
I got Benza.
I want to ride it. Ride it.
I got Benza. Yes.
Ride it. Ride
I
it.
got Benza.
I want to ride it. Ride
I
it.
got Benza. Yes.
Hell yeah.
Good lord.
I will never get tired of that.
So that's still the official S pacifier clip. As soon
That
as
is
you
the-
start
that is-
acting up, you
Yep.
just play
My own
the
personal
recommend.
theme tune.
Yep. It makes the endorphins go, and it makes him happy. And
Is that clip called Bantha style?
Bantha style. Don't give me no ideas. I will make that.
Do
I will
it.
make-
Do it. Do
Do
it.
it.
Do
Fuck with
it.
me.
Do it.
Just do it. And,
Oh,
you should do it.
Real shit. I probably will at some point.
It's gonna be a good video.
Oh yeah.
all right. Sorry about that. Got some stuff going on behind the scenes. I don't know why
problem,
Squeak is
man.
not in here because she's a member of this panel, but okay. She's gonna sit
Squeak,
out there.
your presence is required on the panel.
See,
Squeaker needs to just squeak on in here.
that's right, she does. Hey, Zax, it's good to see you, man. And we got Pops. Pops been
Hey,
been
Pops.
talking up my name all week. I like it.
He invited me to one of the shows, actually. So,
Yeah,
I'm
he invited
excited
me
for it.
too, but I don't know anything about the Halo series, and I'm just
Oh, I
kind of
do.
like,
I fucking hate it.
I
I
knew.
hate it. I hate it as
Jace,
much as I hate the Last Jedi, man.
Jace. We just automatically assume that anytime somebody mentions something, you automatically fucking hate it. Okay, we just do.
Yeah. Okay.
We get it.
Does
Your soul is of empty black void. We understand.
He's
I'm Norwegian,
Norwegian,
that's why.
So
Yeah.
that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's inside like 13 months of the year.
Damn.
Well, it's like I do have I have a video of what the inside of what Jace's head looks like though.
Okay.
So it's just like an empty black void.
But no. Just one moment. I have to find it. Oh yeah, here we go. This is the inside of Jace's head.
Okay. Fucking hell, man.
What the hell?
I know I'm a metalhead, but welcome to my head.
That was
So,
way better than the original. Jeez.
I need that,
That
yesterday.
was way better
like,
than it had any right to be.
I'm looking that up literally right now.
I need that in my life, like right now.
I need that in my
song life.
veins. I need it.
Just put an IV and just pump it directly into my veins intravenously.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I do like some things. I did see the comments, and yeah, I do like Morbius. I did like the movie. Not the post-credit scenes, but I liked the rest of the movie. I did.
Uh-oh.
Has anyone
Mac-
seen Sonic 2 yet?
Mackie just disappeared. Hang on. Here he goes.
Yeah, he back.
Look at that.
All
She's
right.
back.
Mac, you're so quiet.
Sorry, sorry, I'm playing Fortnite right now. I'm more surprised by the fact that you didn't say anything, T-shirt, and then you just drop us with a new intro. I'm like, wait, what?
Because that's how you gotta do
I mean,
it.
I guess that's just how he rolls.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Okay,
You know,
it's surprises.
it's no fun if it's not a surprise.
All right, yeah. You don't let us know ahead of time. I respect that. I was like, okay, it's like, okay, I was like, oh yeah, here's a new intro. It's just like, yeah.
Oh, did you give him an N-word pass? I don't even have an N-word pass.
I did not. Arno is speaking lies and slander and falsehoods. You do not have an N-word pass, sir. Not from me. So yours
Fake
must be
news.
outdated. Exactly. Fake. This whole thing is all. This is fake news. It's
He
fake
needs
ass
to renew
nerd
his N-word
news.
pass.
It's fake all. It's fake all news. You have no N-word pass, Arno. Now get back out there on the corner. Get the.
I'm like 2 or 3% Northern African. I don't even get an N-word pass. So.
Hey, a T-shirt.
Oh, there he goes again.
I actually.
Did you pay the fucking bill, man? What's going on?
I got some.
No,
I got someone
well,
who's gonna join the stream later,
yeah,
if it's
sure,
okay
we
for
do.
you.
Say what?
Diego from Midnight's Edge.
What about him?
Español.
Ooh, Midnight's Edge.
Midnight's Edge en Español. He will join in for a bit soon.
Oh, okay.
Fuck yeah,
I love
Midnight's
Midnight's
Edge.
Edge.
I dropped Dueling Dragons a link, but he hasn't picked it up yet. So I don't know. Maybe he doesn't check his DMs or something. I don't know why you're still out there, Dueling Dragons.
You know, I do things for you, man. You know, I like to help you out, man. You're one of my good friends.
You want to help me out? Give me 600 subs.
Yeah, do that yourself.
That's premium.
I know, I know. Some things
What
we have
about
to do by ourselves.
666?
That would even be better. I would, for 666 subs, I would sing that duck song.
I would love
Would you
to
sing
do
the
that.
backing
DuckTales
track.
song, but as
You
metal?
should do that.
Yes, possible. Actually, Jace really can. Jace can death grunt.
First
Oh yeah, I
of all,
can do stuff like that.
He's
I
been working on it. Grim only death grunts when people kick him in the balls, but
I think most guys do, but you know, whatever.
It's more of
Yeah.
a squeak, really.
Well, I used to make music, so, and of course I made metal and stuff. So
Of course, metal's awesome.
all right. Well, everybody out there in the audience, we got 15 people watching. We would like some more eyeballs on this because we're talking to Nick from Project Phoenix, who's got a comic that he's trying to sell, and we
excited
need
to
lots
hear
of
about it.
eyeballs
A
on
comic
this.
that I think is
So,
right up your guys' alley.
there you go. There you go. So,
Tell everyone.
and say it 5 times in the mirror. And, oh, look, Squeaka appeared.
Wika, hey, darling.
squeak on, squeaker.
Somebody said more squeak, so here I am.
There we go. We'll put you next to ANIMAINE so you feel good.
Oh, thanks.
A wild squeaker.
And you're next to Grim too, so that's like even better.
Mackany, what the hell is that on your screen, man?
That's Fortnite, man.
Why,
Oh,
why are
okay.
you showing Fortnite while in the middle of my stream? What is
Sorry.
that?
That's what it's
Turn it off.
To attract
He doesn't
viewers.
fucking care, dude. It's
Oh
just
my
like, I'm
God,
gonna take
no.
over the stream.
Does that actually work?
Oh,
Yeah, it works.
It does. Oh.
Yeah, I'm
I-
using a virtual camera. Yeah, OBS.
I thought actually having like really awesome panelists and guests is what attracted people to the panel, but
All
Speaking
right,
of
I can
which-
turn the camera back on if you want.
I mean, it could be worse.
we have Greg from Aries Chronicles, who is dude, is your Kickstarter still going? It's in its last days, isn't it?
Yeah, 2 days left on that. I'm very excited.
Cool, man. Post me the link so I can shoot it up to the chat, and I have already. I'm waiting with my money with bated breath for it to end. But oh, we got Purple Valkyrie in the audience. Purple Valkyrie, would you come
Purple
on
Valkyrie?
the panel? Would you come here if we asked you? We would ask you to. Come on,
Purple, would you like to come on the
Come
panel
on.
and sculpt with me?
We have
Grace us
cookies.
with your
We have
presence.
cookies.
I'll ask her.
Okay, you ask her. I mean, tell her we got ANIMAINE on here.
You have to say pretty please.
There you go.
And you have to say it just like that.
I will finish your pick live on screen if you come on Purple.
Ooh.
Oh,
that-
see now
will
that's
that-
that
premium
is
right there,
tempting.
Purple.
Plus, we will
Come on,
get to watch Squeaka melt because I don't think she's ever streamed with Purple Valkyrie.
So please sculpt with us, please, Purple.
We'll have a full panel too. That'll be nice.
Fuck yeah.
All right. Here is the Kickstarter for Ares, Chronicles of Ares Doom that came to Astraeus, which I've already backed. So I believe in the project. I don't know if Grim has, but...
Yeah, Grim.
Did you? Peer pressure?
No, unaware.
That's
Oh,
all right.
okay.
I don't know if Grim even plays like 5th edition.
I do, but it's not my go-to game.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Gosh, that feels awkward.
Man, every time I turn around, I just expect when someone brings up 5th edition, every time someone brings up 5th edition and like a comment doesn't crash through the freaking wall. Like seriously,
You're welcome, T-shirt.
Oh yeah.
You have the clout, Mackany. I don't.
Oh baby.
See, like I ask people, they never even answer me. Like, I talk to Health, and they won't email me back. Faderhead won't talk to me. Mind in a Box won't talk to me, and all these people will not talk to me.
All right, I just dropped her the link.
Mike Pondsmith won't talk to me, and that is a damn shame.
But you're gonna get Purple Valkyrie, and she's even post birthday, so that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and she knows.
Exactly.
She knows. And T-shirt. She knows as. So just
Yeah,
See,
Az
so
won't
this
talk
is
to me
one- this is
either.
You're one step away from getting Az up here, dude. No, it's all about order operations. See,
Exactly.
first you assemble the team of Avengers, then you got to go through a bunch of filler villains, then you got to fight the first big bad who becomes your rival, then you go through about 3-4 more years of arcs, and then you get Faderhead and Az and everybody else on, man. It's just the order operations, but you got this, bro. Don't even worry about
Look
it.
at
Don't
him
sweat it.
cracking that anime code.
Look, man, I've been a weeb since I was like 6 years old. I gotta know something.
Obviously.
I gotta know something.
A T-shirt.
Yo.
Maybe me and Memnock can make you a song one day.
Cool. Can you do that song?
We can do a personal song that's only yours.
Are you gonna write him a love song?
And here we have the lovely Purple Valkyrie.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my
Purple.
god!
Hello, my loves. I'm
gonna
sorry,
scoot
sweet
you to-
T-shirt. I was replying, I promise.
You're fine. You're fine.
You're welcome, T-shirt. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you, Mac. Thank you.
Here's your favor. You're welcome.
I know her too. You know that, right? She's been on my channel before, right? But I still love it when she is on there because Purple Valkyrie brings a certain gravitas that none of our other guests do.
Certainly.
I mean, with a name like
Wow!
Purple Valkyrie.
Wow! Thanks, man. Appreciate
Like,
I'm
you
sorry,
know,
Mac.
You had that coming with how much you were flexing, so don't even trip.
You do. You did have that
Yeah,
coming.
I probably did have that coming. So
That's okay. Here's your consolation prize, Mac. Do you know how amazing it would be to get the roots on this show? Oh my god.
what to get Questlove? Oh hell no, man. You get
I would love-
if you get Tay and Questlove, that's all I'm saying. Man.
Yeah, if I could get Tay and or Questlove, my channel would blow up. I'd probably have the whole Dark Council wanting to get into my show that day.
You get to speak to one of my all-time favorite rappers. I'm
Dude,
like, yes,
the
I
Sith
will be there.
Galaxy.
I just want to interrupt to say that I didn't get to jump into the birthday stream in time yesterday because of stupid work. But now that you're on stream, I get to say happy belated birthday, Valkyrie. I hope it's more amazing than you are, which is really super amazing.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. It was great to see you. Thank you. Seriously, thank you, everyone.
That's
I was at work, so I didn't get a chance to.
To be fair, I put it on at a weird time, so my apologies. But thank you, everyone who messaged.
Well, let's see. I better get this. We better get this game news talked about really quick, so Grim doesn't die on us. Poor guy. He is not feeling great, but I'm glad he's with us.
I'm feeling better.
No. He'll be stone dead in a moment.
I'm happy.
I'm feeling
You're not,
glad.
you're not gonna go Biden on us, are you, Graham?
I got sunshine in the bag.
What?
Did she turn you into a newt?
I got better.
All right, so from Belle of Lost Souls, and we owe this this news to our beloved Ironcaster, who was not feeling well enough to come on today. But we love you, Ironcaster, and thank you for
His
shooting
vengeance
this up.
shall be. We shall avenge him today.
Yes, we shall. Yes,
Just send
apparently-
him a video of Jason Momoa, and Ironcaster will be happy.
You.
Wait, did someone just say Jason Momoa?
Yep.
Oh no. All right, so apparently Hasbro is keeping Wizards of the Coast and rejects the spin-off proposal. And I always hate reading these things to the audience, but I'm going to do it anyway. Wizards of the Coast will be staying on as Hasbro's goose that lays the golden Magic the Gathering egg, after all. Earlier this year, an activist investor, I like how they put that in quotes, with a 2.5% stake in Hasbro, called for WotC to be spun off into a separate entity. The company, AltaFox Capital Management, claimed that the move would cause a spike in share price. AltaFox proposal has an accompanying video outlining their reasoning. I'm not going to watch the video. You guys can. But it says Hasbro has declined to take them up on their proposal. Their board chairman, Rich Stoddart, said in a letter last week, a WotC spinoff is unlikely to create value, is contrary to Hasbro's strategy, and would negatively impact the benefits Wizards realizes today from Hasbro's brand blueprint on a consolidated basis. And meanwhile, Hasbro's new CEO, Chris... I'm sorry, Cox, formerly head of WotC...
That's not Newport who dis.
Yeah.
Oh, grow up.
Clarified that Wizards was the groundwork for Hasbro's future. The fundamental game plan we use at Wizards will be the roadmap we follow for the rest of Hasbro. They also suggested a slew of new board members. Hasbro announced 2 new board members earlier this week, none of whom are AltaFox representation. We have WotC has added Elizabeth Hamren, who is Chief Operating Officer of Discord, Inc., as well as Blake Jorgensen, Executive Vice President of Special Projects and former Chief Financial Officer and Chief Operating Officer at Electronic Arts, into their board of directors. So...
Oh, EA CFO. Yeah. Blake
Uh-huh.
Jorgensen.
And, okay, so the last person that they hired to put in charge of Wizards of the Coast was ex-Microsoft. And now they've got Discord and Electronic Arts. I don't know. I mean, Grim, I don't know what you think, but everything is pointing to Hasbro going really, really hardcore into digital here in the near future.
Yeah, and they've
didn't
always
you know
ballsed
digital
that up
everything
in the past.
future?
Well, you know, something interesting that I saw, there are some rumors flying around that I saw on Aaron the Pedantic's Discord. Some people were talking about this. I don't know where they got the evidence or the rumors that they saw, but Wizards of the Coast is apparently going to kind of do an about face or a 180 on some of their D&D products, and there's a lot of grumbling going on that they're going to start releasing kind of more... they're going to try and tap into the old school like OSR type of market, because that's really big right now. And that sounds like kind of weird because that's not where they've been going, but they're losing sales on some of their newer books, so they might be trying to do an about face and release some more traditional adventures. That's what I've heard.
Why do I get the feeling that all these companies are finally realizing, hey, we courted these activists and it's not getting us any money. In fact, we're losing money. I feel like these companies are starting to wake up to that fact.
Weird how that works.
Yeah, well,
it's very beard stroking moment. It's like
It is. I am in fact stroking my beard
right now.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, everything they do is to make money and please their shareholders. They don't care about... I believe they don't actually have like a personal interest in any kind of, political whatever. It's just they want to make money. So their last 4 or 5 books have been not a huge failure, but it's not launching into space like they thought it was going to be. So it's no surprise they want to try a different direction, I think.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, come on now. A book that was completely made by all POCs was not a huge hit.
You mean to
To
tell me
play the
that?
devil's advocate here, what if that is the case? What if they did do these things because they have a personal interest in it and did what they wanted because, hey, look how much money we already have. And they said, F all y'all, we're going to do what we want because we have a personal interest in it. And now they did what they wanted and they're like, okay, cool, we did it. We got our jam on, so now we're going to go back to doing all this other stuff. What if it is exactly the opposite and they knew they had lots of money and did what they felt like doing?
Well, you know, in some instances that might be the case, but for a big company
I
with like
mean,
a board of
there's gotta be a part
directors,
of
like
it.
you know, they have a board of directors, so the board is going to be like, "What the hell are you doing?" Like you have to
put it this way.
Not necessarily. What if the board has people on it that have the same vested interest?
That's
and they're like,
possible.
okay, yeah, let's
It's
do it.
possible.
I mean,
the one
sure,
thing you
yeah.
find
I'm
out.
sure there's activists in every level of these kind of things, but at the end of the day, it's what sells.
Yeah, and
I just
you
don't
know,
think I just don't think that's like, you know, they got the money for it, but money can't buy, you know, brains. Sometimes I don't think they have the. I don't think they're thinking
Diego
one
has
step
hit it.
ahead of it. I guess you could say.
I think Diego has actually hit it really right here. It's because they notice that third-party companies with their own modules that are clearly inspired in old OSR material like Drakkenheim or Grim Hollow, or even Ares adventures. You know, they're seeing as like, oh look, here's these other properties, and they're using our stuff and making more money at it, or are doing a better job of marketing it, or they're appealing to a wider variety of people.
It's Pathfinder
And-
all over again.
Well, and that's the funny thing too, because now Pathfinder has gone. Paizo is going 5th edition, so you know I kind of predicted
weird.
that was going to happen because you know Pathfinder 2 probably hasn't got the audience that they were hoping for, and that's kind of what happens when you shift gears and you screw over all your old fans.
I mean, Wizards of the Coast hasn't always been like this. Just how many people have played Curse of Strahd? You know, that's like one of the top adventures that they've ever published, and they just, I don't know why they moved away from that towards whatever they're doing now, you know?
Oh, come on. Van Richtens was so good, though, with the gender-swapped characters and racial-swapped characters that were completely pointless, and the advisory on not to scare your players.
I'm starting to think.
In a horror-based setting.
I'm starting to think the D&D cookbook didn't go as well as they hoped.
I have that cookbook, but I'm not going to ever make anything from it.
Well, I mean, it's like, okay, Squeaka, you and Ash are kind of new to role-playing games. Or actually, Ash really is. Squeaka's more of a veteran. Yeah, poor you. Okay.
I've only
let's
played
say-
off and on. You can consider me
Poor
new.
you.
Okay, well, let's say that you know, Grim invites us all to go play a horror game, and then at the beginning of the session, he quizzes everybody on what they're scared of, and promises that that you will not encounter any of these things in the game.
So no balloons.
For one, if you started with horror, so I'd be out from the get-go.
Yeah, me too.
But to be honest, if the premise of the whole game is horror, you're going in expected to be scared or in a spooky setting. Now, if they're saying, and if in the source material that's provided by the company in your books are specifically saying, oh, this is a horror setting, do not scare your players, and that's just stupid because that's lost the point of what horror is supposed to be.
Exactly. Even you get
So
this,
it's
man.
horror. You know, scary.
Yes, but I understand the point of questions though. Well, to me, of trying to understand your audience is also a bit human. If I'm going in to a horror adventure and I really want to play horror and I really want to get into this game, but I'm absolutely afraid of tentacle monsters, like trauma afraid. If I told my DM, GM, whatever the new terminology is, hey, I really do get afraid of this. It's really scares me. Can we have a different type of monster?
That sounds more like a GM discretion kind of thing.
That's not limiting it. So if the DM nips that in the bud and starts it off with, is there anybody at my table that has anything they want to discuss with me of this type or ask questions? That's fine, because not everybody knows that you can do that in a game.
There's a bunch
I can
of
see that.
there's a bunch of moving parts to that, right? So anyone sensible will have a talk, and most of the time you're playing with people you know, so you have an idea of each other's limits, right? But the talking to each other isn't what these people are advocating for. They're advocating for you interrupting play in the middle of play when a tentacle monster comes up and forcing the GM to on the fly remove it. Or to go through an interminable list of all kinds of different triggers and things. And I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to hand strangers a list of everything that psychologically upsets me at any point. And it's not actually psychologically helpful to people who have been traumatized for them to completely avoid ever running into these things, especially in a completely safe environment like a game where it's all imaginary and it really can't hurt you. So there's a whole bunch of different things to consider there.
That reminds me of a story from when I played D&D 3rd edition back in college. We had a huge party, like 8 or 9 people, and there was a girl who was really, really Catholic, I guess. I'm not sure what her beliefs were. But one of our players was a necromancer, and he summoned some skeletons, and that upset her so much, like, because it was against her religion, that she crawled under the table and started crying. And like, her boyfriend crawled under there and like tried to console her, and like, we all kind of felt bad. I'm like, oh well, that kind of sucks.
I almost feel like he just wanted attention, because like,
yeah, but we were like, we were kind of like that meme that was like, oh, okay, well, but anyway, and we all continued playing. Like, we just continued playing while she was under the table. It's just, I mean,
what are you gonna do? Like, just stop the game?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I always feel
stop the game.
I always feel that if someone is that upset, then they can just tell people at the table, I can't really handle this kind of monster, I'm just going to step away till you finish the encounter. And everyone would be understanding of that. You know, you taking the responsibility for your own triggers and issues and stepping away for a minute. I think most people would be understanding of that.
Yeah.
Not crawling under the table and crying, perhaps, but
and then
but,
even if you're so upset you needed to cry, you went to the other room and you did what you needed to do. I don't think people would probably even be sympathetic at that point.
Yeah, I mean, there's kind of this generalized, like, universal understanding of what an adult is. An adult is meant to be able to handle their own emotions and deal with things in a rational manner. But the reality is, a lot of quote-unquote adults might not have that capability. So if you're at a gaming table and you're faced with someone who can't act that way, it's kind of a shock. Like, you don't really know how to react. Like, how do you deal with someone who's supposed to be an adult but they're not acting like an adult? And that's kind of difficult.
It's kind of a weird feeling when you meet grown-ass adults who act worse. Like, you have a 2-year-old cousin who is more mature than them.
Would it be safe to say that the girl disappearing under the table is quite an extreme example for this sort of thing, or is this common? Is this people having these phobias and not telling the players that they have these problems until the situation arises?
Well, I think it's personally like a statistical thing. The more people you have at the table, the more people that are part of your group, the greater chance of something like that might happen. You know, we had like 8 to 10 people, I think, which is a huge party. Oh, that's a massive D&D group. Like, somebody in a 10-person party is going to have some kind of problem with something. Like, that's almost unavoidable. But when you go down to like 3 or 4 and it's people you know, and that's rarely ever a problem, and that's why I don't think a lot of people talk about it or really care about it.
Yeah.
And then there's also, like, the more people you play, like, the more, like for example, if you have a group of friends that you know, you're a lot less likely to have this kind of situation versus, like, let's say you play at a game store and, like, every week it could be a different group. So you're constantly having people rotate in and out. You're more likely to get that kind of behavior.
Mm-hmm. Plus, people will take advantage, since it's a relatively unknown group of people, to just showboat and make a big deal out of shit. By the way, we got Stowed Up out in the chat, so let me drop this for him.
Go ahead, skin it. Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
I love that movie.
So good.
No.
Just for the record, I don't disagree with you, Graham. I agree completely. I was just throwing out a hypothetical situation.
Geek is our devil's advocate.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Well, anyway, yeah, it's like I said, the Week in Geek is not particularly devoted to gaming stuff so much. That's more of our Tuesday show. But because WotC keeps on making pop culture
typing
news.
real fast?
Me.
Don't know.
I'll try and move my mic away.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I was wondering. I was like, who's that?
I don't know.
Grim
I
is
feel
always right on
hot.
topic.
Oh no, I was just wondering. I was like,
oh jeez.
Grim is a hot typer, but he's usually on camera too. He's not on this week, but yeah, WotC keeps on making pop culture news, and the thing I have found out over the last year or so is with all the other stuff that is going on with pop culture as far as movies, TV shows, video games, comic books, and now they're getting into the tabletop role-playing games. I'm not sure what aspect of pop culture that they're going to get into next.
Like, they've been trying to get into Warhammer for years now, but Warhammer people are like, no.
Yeah, Citadel
as
just
a
decided
player-
they're going to screw themselves.
As a player in the community, okay, I can say it basically it's like this. They try to enter, they try to put their politics right, but just people are like, okay, whatever you say, bub, we're leaving. You know, but like not like we're leaving the hobby. We're just like, you know, we're gonna do our own thing, and so since it's ignored, it's really like they're like, okay, we're gonna stop it because nobody's listening to us.
It's just don't look strategy.
yeah, that's a fandom that will not back down.
And that's what I love.
I mean,
about a lot of
you got to admire them, really.
Oh, yo, I admire them big time.
Like them, and I've seen this also a lot with all the recent stuff they keep trying to insert into like Lord of the Rings. I feel like I don't know if it's necessarily a medium thing or a genre thing, but I feel like the tabletop and a lot of the literature fandoms and groups are not necessarily more resistant, but I feel like they're a bit like more no nonsense. Like they don't even give this shit a quarter. Where maybe with some of the newer things, it's like, well, we can kind of play around with it. It's like, no, we're dealing with Tolkien. This shit's almost 100 years old. These tabletop games been around since the 60s, 70s. We just don't give a fuck. We just don't care.
My theory
Like, no,
on
we're not
that
coming
is,
in.
with a lot of those types of fandoms like literature and tabletop, is you have a lot of older fans, like you like going back to Tolkien. You know, we have Tolkien fans. They're like 60, 70 years old. There are people. I mean, there are people who have been playing tabletop nonstop since 1977. You know, there's grandfathers who have like an epic RPG setup who have DM'd for 3 or 4 generations of grandkids.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not really what I'm trying to say, but like, so I feel like since a lot in literature, obviously, I mean, obviously there's young people in literature, but like a lot of these tend to skew older. You know, so you get kind of more of a different crowd versus like video games, which is more of a younger audience. Well, video games have been around for a while, but like not as long.
I'm basically gonna say this. Get ready for when my generation be the first grandparents who can actually talk with their grandkids about Pokemon. And they're gonna be, wait, you know about Pokemon? Let me tell you about the year of 1998.
Imagine inheriting grandpa's Pokemon cards.
Yeah, let me tell you about G1.
Hey, son.
Let me
One
school
day
y'all.
this holographic Charizard is going to be yours. I'm going to put it into my will.
No. The best part of it all will be when one of my kids says, "And I like Charizard. You're disinherited, you heretic. It's either Squirtle or Bulbasaur in this house. Now leave."
Excuse me, I'm a member of the Cyndaquil gang. Get the F out.
Bulbasaur for life. It's the number one Pokemon for a reason.
To be fair, each generation has its own starters. Each generation has their very own starters, so there was always
No, but it's
Bulbasaur will always be number one.
I mean, it's the eternal debate of the overrated lizard that is Charizard, right?
But I like Mudkips.
No, Mudkip is much better than Charizard. We all can agree that.
I'm going to just say this. Stealth Rock.
Yeah. Especially Legends Arceus Stealth Rock. That thing hits you and then wounds you every turn.
Oh.
Darius, are you in the car? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Rock is like kryptonite for Charizard.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Super
Darius.
effective.
We
I
got
will
Concentrate on your
Digimon
driving.
is better. Digimon is better.
You know.
Uh-oh. Jace just
Damn
threw out a
right.
hot... Uh-oh.
Jace dropping facts in the
The
chat.
TV show, yes, we can all agree that Digimon TV series is much better than the Pokemon series.
The
There's
Digimon
no debate.
games
Yes,
are really good.
yes. The first, I want to say at least the first 3-4 seasons.
There you go,
Oh,
Skuka.
Tamers. Oh, dear
I
God.
actually do not
I did like
Pikachu.
Tamers.
I
What?
despise Pikachu.
What?
He's like the freaking Mickey Mouse of Pokemon. I'm like so sick of
What?
Pikachu.
Oh
All
my
right,
God.
out of
No,
the
if you want an electric mouse, Dedene's where it's at, guys.
Didn't what
then
the
they can kill dragons.
I'm going to put Esh over here as far away from Squeaker Mouse as I can keep it.
fucking
I was gonna say.
Yeah, you fucking hell over in your corner.
Yeah,
Yes,
Poor
you can.
Ash.
Yes, you can. Okay, but also a bit trying to get it back to the subject about the whole fandoms and like they trying to enter it. The problem I think is when a fandom might
Grim,
be
I can't show that, Grim.
I know you
Oh,
can't.
no.
That's for you.
Okay.
Oh god, I want to see this. Oh god,
Oh my! What the? Oh boy!
I do not oppose it, but still, there's very odd problems here.
I've seen better. I've seen better.
I feel oddly aroused.
Yeah, I've seen better.
Okay, but I was gonna just
My
before I lose my
Pokeballs
train of
are
thought.
jingling.
Jesus, Nick, calm down, calm down. Somebody bring the water bottle.
Pokeballs.
Rule 34 intensifies.
I was gonna say, but I think the problem is it also depends on the nature of the fandom, like the people who play. Okay, and what I
You
mean.
like jolly, timid, adamant, modest.
Yeah, almost something like that. In
I'm
the sense, like-
sorry, we were talking about Pokemon, then you said
I know,
nature,
I know. But I mean, like, I will give the best example, okay? If you see in Warhammer, right, there's basically currently, like, proper supported games that have massive fandoms. Is Age of Sigmar, which is the smallest, followed by Horus Heresy, and followed by Warhammer proper, 40k, right? Okay. 40k right now is in this middle ground of changing the rules, and everybody's, like, trying, it's like getting annoyed, but there is not really a lot of, you know, the message in it, right?
The message. Yeah.
There's not really that. More people are annoyed the fact that they sometimes try to do it, but because people ignore them, or because the rules are becoming too, you know, pay to win kind of system for competitive. They're like, we don't want to hear it. That your message. We're now more worried about you, like you balancing your shit. Then there's the Horus Heresy players who Games Workshop. There is not to do anything to anger them because they are a fucking gold mine, and I'm one of them because we pay the expensive shit from Forge World. So they're not gonna do much except maybe update the rules to have more fun, faster play, but like balance because it's Marine versus Marine. And then you have Age of Sigmar, where they try all the wackiest shit and even try to put more female representation and more female power into it, but without, you know, shoving it down your throat, right? And so I've noticed that the people, there's the reason why the leftist group dedicated to Warhammer products is called Sigmarxism. Because it's more entrenched in Age of Sigmar, not in Warhammer, nor in Horus Heresy. Especially the irony considering there's a bunch of communist fish in Warhammer 40,000, but who am I to judge?
So basically, Games Workshop
Ash
took
is
all
dropping
the
bombs.
leftists and shoved them into Age of Sigma and say, "Hit there's your playground. Ruin that."
Yeah, pretty much.
Well-
It's like you got to think about it like this. Games Workshop are money grubby company. They raise prices no matter what. There is inflation, they raise prices. There is no inflation, they raise prices. There's deflation, they raise prices. They just want
The
money.
CEO
at the
has
end
a
of the day.
fart. They raise prices.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, they want money. So they somehow found a way to segment the market in such a way where you have the classic players are Horus Heresy, keep them happy. You have the more, let's call it casual players who like to play competitive, but also like to play with friends, Warhammer 40k, but they're not really into kind of politics. They're more like, let's hang out on Friday nights, you know, kind of people. And then they have Age of Sigmar. And the problem is most companies are aiming at the Age of Sigmar crowd without actually aiming at creating products for the other crowds. And now that, and bringing back to the whole like Grim Hollow or Dragonheim, those products aim more for people who just want to have fun in a fantasy world and they wanted, some people want horror, some people want more fantasy adventure, some people want giant mechas in a school environment like the Royal Academy Kickstarter that came out and a half. It's like they're starting to aim at other people because they know that the big guns, Paizo, Wizard of the Coast, they're aiming to another crowd that are small and not going to supply them, and the other companies are just taking advantage of the chaos and entrenching themselves to the point that when Wizard of the Coast and Paizo finally turn around, it's too late. The market is cornered by all these smaller companies, and they can't enter because they give the one thing that Wizards of the Coast and Paizo don't give: actual fun.
Well, I thought you were gonna say I thought you were gonna say actual fucks. That would have been the perfect way to end that rant.
No. Okay, speaking as somebody who actually worked in the retail industry as far as gaming stores go, I have actually seen what Games Workshop's business model is, and I liken it to cancer. And and when I say that, I don't mean as in like it's just repugnant. I mean it's like literally, it's because it's like cancer metastasizes into something bigger, by that I mean, okay, you say you have a game store, and you have people coming into your game store who want Games Workshop products. Now, Games Workshop will sell you their whole line of stuff, but they require you to maintain a certain percentage of their stock in your store at all times. So, let's say, they start off with like, okay, you have to have, $600 worth of our product in your store at all times. Okay, so that's like $600 you're out all the time because you're required to have that stock in your store in order to continue to buy from Games Workshop. And in the meantime, if Games Workshop decides that there's a mall location nearby that's advantageous, they will pop up one of their Games Workshop stores in said mall and start selling all of their own Games Workshop in-house products with lots of giveaways and lots of tabletop drives and all these other things to pull business into that store, and in the process undercut your store while still requiring you to buy from them at the same level of cost and at the same level of maintaining their stock. And if that sounds kind of like a mean business model, it kind of is.
Is Games Workshop's model "fuck you, pay me"?
Basically, yes.
Yep. Because we're talking about a company that, think about Disney, how they now they got the about face, like it showed that they play both sides, right?
Yeah.
So Games Workshop is that but now I'm not talking the political sense. I'm talking in just simply sales sense. Right now, T-shirt has already said it. They're very, very predatory. I mean, the only reason some of these stores I feel don't go under because of selling Games Workshop is because since they hike up the prices. For example, $600 a product is now basically 10 boxes of intercessors, and they could have just those 10 boxes of intercessors and stay at that,
Yeah.
So there's not much problem there, and they have the rest of the space for other things. Or they could have, for example, 4 starter boxes that are about $150, but they bring about $250 of stuff inside. So it's like, okay, it's balanced out. It's more a good way to start. But still, it's like you still have the rest of the store to sell whatever the fuck you want, and thus making your profit and recovering.
When you're talking about this, it kind of reminds me of this one store I have. So I used to frequent this one game store called Burdett's. They're not really around anymore. And this other store closed in the area, and they picked up the Warhammer license. And then a separate comic book store opened like 2 miles away. And you know how there's a 5-mile buffer zone?
Yeah.
So this other store had another location kind of on the other side of the state. So what the other store was doing was they take the stuff from their store and literally just drive it down to this new store. And that's how they get their Warhammer stock. Now, the people who were managing Burdett's, they called Games Workshop. And they told them this. They literally told them, hey, they're doing this. And Games Workshop did nothing. They didn't do jack crap. Even though, technically, they're not doing anything wrong, blah, blah, blah. But it's just that kind of stupidity, really.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and I think that's the thing right now. It's like the nature of of let's call it the machine, right? How it doesn't understand its clientele, and it's trying to cater to a vocal minority because they think this is going to help them, and then they see, oh shit, it's not helping us, we got to change face. But sometimes because they're so big, they take too long, and by when they change face, they're like, oh fuck, we can't do shit, we got to go back to that. And this is where I fear that, for example, Wizards of the Coast, they say we change face, we start bringing OSR type stuff, but because of the third parties already took over, they can't do it, and so they have to go back to being, more aiming to the Wackerloons. And then after, it's like they can't change the model because they sort of screwed themselves over. And then maybe I don't want to be mean, but like saying D&D dies because of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like and it's not like they haven't gone through this before. I mean, we're talking about Pathfinder earlier. The only reason Pathfinder exists is because Wizards of the Coast fucked up 4th edition. And by the time Wizard got their heads out of their asses and they released 5th edition, Pathfinder was already well established. And so they'd already been through this. History is literally repeating themselves for Wizards of the Coast right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that kind of reminds me of what one of my buddies told me. We were having a conversation. This guy is Pulp Hummock Press. He had recently his Kickstarter ended. He had a pretty successful OSR Kickstarter. This guy was a pretty big marketing executive for a big firm. And we were talking a little bit about how to successfully market to the gaming community, like the tabletop gaming community. How do you do it? And he told me that he learned that it's well known, for example, in the music industry, that the most loyal fans are actually country music fans.
What?
And the least loyal fans are rap and hip hop fans.
That figures.
And the idea is basically the more urban and the younger you get, the less loyalty the fans show. And eventually, the quicker they turn on you. And this held so true that many country music fans, for a long time, even if the artist wasn't cool anymore, or wasn't relevant anymore, the country music fans would still go and pick up the CD, even if they didn't need to.
That's true.
So I think that there's some truth to that, like you really have to cater to the older, more loyal audience, and some of these companies aren't realizing that.
Yeah,
I think
they're
that's
starting to.
This is why it doesn't make sense to gut your core audience to pursue a hypothetical new audience.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just like with Jag. Oh, sorry.
I say you might make a lot more in the short term, but you lose that core audience, and that comes back to bite you later on, which is what I think Wizards is going to find out as everyone slides out of the sort of pandemic headspace and doesn't have as much free time and so on anymore. I think a lot of people will go away and not come back.
Yeah,
it's the same reason why Jagex brought back old school RuneScape. Sure, RuneScape 3 has its fans, but old school RuneScape is more.
Well, anyway, it's like, I could see the same thing with like Iron Maiden, because I've been a Maiden fan since the 80s, and I'm to the point now where it's kind of like where I just buy the Maiden CDs because it's a new Maiden CD. It's not necessarily that it's my favorite thing or I want to listen to it. It's just because I've always enjoyed the band. I know that, good times, bad times, nostalgic times, whatever, I'm going to toss on some Iron Maiden. And, I mean, I listened to Razor Fist's last, review of the last Maiden CD that came out, and it was not good. And he mentioned several times where they keep, bringing out the same riff over and over and over and over and over. And as he pointed out, I'm like, you're right. I recall hearing this exact same riff, and it's kind of like, after listening to the new album, I was kind of like, wow, there's nothing that really distinguishes the sound here like in the old days and stuff. And the more I started going back and listening to my old catalog of Maiden albums, it was kind of like, right after Power Slave, everything does kind of start to sound a lot alike. So, at some point they became formulaic, but because I was already an invested fan and I just kept on buying the music and just kind of tuning out or not really getting as focused on it as I used to. And I guess it's the same thing with the country and Western people. And I guess to an extent, it's the same way with the D&D stuff. You know, especially for older products and things like that, they seem like they were better written, or at least they were written with more heart. They weren't necessarily better than what's made now, because, you know, as Grim or I or probably Greg could point out, there are old modules that are not very good, but because they're old and nostalgic, people want them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of what killed D&D in 2nd edition. They lived by the philosophy that you had to publish or die. And so they kept churning out book after book after book after book. And a lot of them were kind of crappy. And eventually players got tired of it. And 2nd edition was just a wasteland at one point.
Yeah, because second edition was like, it lasted almost like, what, 20 years?
Oh, yeah.
And I think that, you know, there's probably some heat there.
I think Dragon Dice and bad tie-in fiction was what really finished TSR
Yeah,
off.
Dragon Dice.
Those were terrible.
Yeah, pretty bad.
Wizard of the Coast will never live down Dragon Dice.
Yeah. Well, Vlad, you got anything to contribute to our gaming rant, or?
Oh, I'm just trying to catch up with all you guys. If it sounds like there's an echo, it's because I'm coming to you from a different location today. I'm actually up in my lab, getting some stuff done.
Are you a mad scientist?
Yeah. I'm on my way. I'm on my way to being a mad scientist.
I mean, the dude's favorite character is Frank Perella. What do y'all expect?
Yeah.
Actually, I wasn't joking when I said the other day that I'm on my way to becoming a Batman, because getting my BA here in biology is going to require a focus for the zoology, so I'm doing Chiroptera, which is bats.
So you're literally becoming Batman.
Yes.
Oh my God! God bless you. You are living the fans' dream. You can literally say, "I am Batman," and you will actually be not lying. God bless you.
As far as getting back onto your topic about modules, and I apologize if the echo here is crazy. As far as like the stuff with the modules, I never really noticed the quality of modules because I never used modules. I never used a module at all in my like 35 plus years of being a DM.
I like them for supplements. I mean, they're called modules, and I took them at their word, as in they are modular sections of dungeon or play material that you can stick into an adventure or something like that.
Yeah, the only one I have is a shock to nobody is the original Ravenloft.
Yeah.
Module, and all I did, I just took the monsters from that. That's usually all I ever did.
Yeah, and stuff like Ravenloft is kind of like where the change in modules, I think, started. It's when they started actually writing more towards full-on adventures with full stories and everything else. But,
yeah, and that's part of what we're trying to do. You know, I design, like with our Astrius adventure that's in the works here with the Sword and Sorcery for 5th edition, I always try to have it be part setting. So you can take the actual setting of the world and the characters and the races and new ideas and systems. And then the second half is going to be in a campaign. So like you can take the modules in the campaign and the adventures that are standalone and you can run them. But if you're like Vlad here and you don't run modules, that's not interesting to you. Then there's the other half, which is the setting, some of the lore and some of the other systems that you can use in your own campaign or mine it for ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you want to play Ravenloft but don't want to play Return to Castle Ravenloft.
I mean, no, Vlad, you talk. I think I said a lot. So.
Well, we've got, like I said, Greg has still got his Kickstarter. It's got a couple of days to go. If you're interested, here's our link to it. Hit it up, man. I've already backed it myself because I believe in it. I've seen his other products. I've reviewed them on my stream. He makes good stuff. He does.
I was gonna ask you guys what do you think about things like that Wizards of the Coast has done, like, for example, Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. That's more like it helps you add stuff to your campaigns, but it doesn't, like, it's not properly, let's say, a module that puts you a whole storyline per se or anything. That just helps you more, give you tools as a DM or as a player.
I mean, I really don't got a problem with the options. I just don't like it when things become mandatory.
Yeah, I don't think anybody minds having extra tools in the toolbox. But when the company decides, hey, we're going to completely rewrite the lore of these creatures that you have come to know as being evil and horrific monsters who do things like implant their spawn in your head in order to turn you into one of their race, or eat people's brains, or enslave them in order to have a workforce. Something like that kind of bothers me when they try to retcon that, especially when it's, that stuff has been established since, the very first games came out.
It's like they're retconning characters who are older than they are.
Yeah, basically.
Well, the problem is it's an issue of perception from a consumer standpoint. Wizards of the Coast is a huge, massive company. They're the official company who makes D&D. So when they make a book like Tasha's, they're very clear, and they have disclaimers at the beginning of the book and on their social media where they say, this is optional. These are some extra rules, totally optional. You don't have to adhere to them, but that just, the eyes of their fans just glaze over, and all they see is, oh, this is the new book. This must be the new standard, so they think that is going to be the way that the game should always be. Tasha's is out. It's an official book, so it must be the official way to play. And so that's kind of like a perception issue.
And it's interesting you would say this. I was talking to Grim about this the other day because I wanted to do a video about it, and I wasn't sure how to approach it. But I was telling him, I was going, I think D&D Beyond has actually done more to harm the game than it has to help it. And my basis for saying that is because most of the time new players are getting introduced to the game, and the first thing the DM does is says, okay, we'll get on D&D Beyond. It'll show you how to build a character very quickly so you can jump in and get started. Well, D&D Beyond uses the game's basic set of rules with not a lot of modification or anything like that. So
plus with everyone using like character creator builders and apps on their phone, it's like they're building these characters, but they sign the stats, they don't know why they're signing the stats. Like, it's just like, oh, I just want to spread, but the mechanics of it, minutia.
Yeah, but it's more that these official tools only support the standardized central way of playing, and it's not easy, if possible at all, to customize. Plus, a lot of their modules and stuff come out, and they assume you're using Tasha's or whatever else.
Exactly, and that was something I spoke to RPG Pundit about. You guys might know him. He's the final boss in Internet Shitlords. But he was up on my channel, and one of the things he told me was when he helped create 5th edition, which he did, it was with the idea that they were creating a framework that players could use and work on and rebuild and tool it up the way they wanted to and modify it, just like we have in the past. Fumbles and critical hits were not part of the original D&D system as written by, Gygax and Arneson way back in the day. That is something that kind of came out later on from other editions. And I hesitate to say this, but they may have actually been stolen from Arduin, because Arduin is the first place I ever saw those critical hit tables. But regardless, the thing is, it's like, even since the beginning, people have modified the game to suit their own tastes, their own players, their own customs, and everything else. But as he says, he did not expect that modern players for 5th edition would be so hidebound to the rules that they wouldn't want to alter them. So,
I mean, that's kind of the cornerstone of D&D is you tweak. It's a kind of the DM's prerogative to tweak things for fun, you know.
yeah, but when you're using D&D Beyond, those options aren't necessarily in the app itself, and so players don't see them or may not be aware of them, and conversely GMs may also not be aware of them, not be able to utilize them, etc., and they may not think of them.
Yeah, like the old classic DM fudges the rolls so to give the characters another chance what otherwise would have been a TPK.
But conversely, couldn't that add more playability as far as more people coming into D&D? Say you have people that have never experienced it and they get on D&D and Beyond and it's pretty cut and dry. You make a character and they're like, well, this is pretty neat. And then they get into the system and they say, wow, look, there's more material out here. We can actually change this. So let's ditch D&D Beyond and make our own character sheets and fudge the rules so they can grow in the game rather than just like, don't you think that might open the door for some people too, because it makes it easier for them to access it?
Possibly, but the research these days shows that the average player does not play beyond 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
Not months like in the old days, or 6 levels worth of characters, which is what the old data was, but 6 game sessions, and that's it.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I've talked about this. I ran Call of Cthulhu when I was back in school a couple of years ago when I did my return, and that game lasted 2 years, 4 semesters. Everybody showed up, and the idea of sending people to like an app to make their character, I don't know. To me, that's just bughouse, because as a DM, I like being. I don't know what the correct term is. Not hands-on, but I like the one-on-one interaction with a new player, like showing them how to create a character, showing them through the rule book, and then letting them go from there.
Session zeros are very important.
Okay, can I give the context of a person who lives in a third world country where basically those books are worth their weight in gold?
Go ahead.
For example, D&D Beyond is actually a very good tool for us here in Peru when you don't have the money to buy the books because they're very expensive. Because my country is one of the few that actually taxes books just for existing. And I'm not talking about, it's, let's say you're ordering over $200 of books and you tax them.
Yeah.
No. They tax every individual book before you put the sales tax. It's a fucked up system, I know.
Jeez.
So,
Damn, man.
because they're expensive for us, D&D Beyond has become a very open way for us to teach players how to build the characters, and then somebody who has the book, because they have the money, they do photocopy, so they have a copy of the pages that are important for them, for their character, and they start learning and understanding. But at least D&D Beyond helps them understand the basics of building it, because the whole point is, they tell you, download D&D Beyond, and we're gonna build it together. Like, it's not like, because they understand that part. And also, I think what's important is more the fact that I feel games should be more like, they have a series of core mechanics that are they cannot really be changed. They will always act the same way. This is why I love war games. They have a series of core mechanics. They will never change in principle in the game. There are some rules that violate these, like saying there are exceptions or they make some kind of shenanigans, but they're the exceptions to the rules, right? But usually most people understand these are the basic ways to play, like this is the basic system and the basic rules. And once they understand that, they start playing with the wacky stuff. And most games should be like that. They should tell you this. I'm not talking just board games or tabletop RPGs or like I'm saying everything, like video games as well. Everyone has to have basically this idea, this philosophy of I have my core mechanics to play, right? And once I understand them, I can start doing the wacky shit. If you don't do that, you're gonna lose the player eventually. I mean, there's a lot of JRPGs that they don't explain people how you do it, and unless you're very, resourceful and either you read the resources that are inside the game and explain you, or you see reviews and tutorials and whatnot. Most people will drop those kinds of games on the wayside because they don't understand it, even because they don't have one core mechanic. They might have 5 mechanics that are important, but they're not connected. So, and that's why I feel that most tabletop games are like losing, because they're like, D&D is that in essence they have one core mechanic, but then they have a bunch of shit that they add, that only for a specific storyline, for a specific narrative, and then people take it and then they start mutating it, and they don't. And since they get away from the core, they start confusing it. So when a new player comes, they drown them in this whole badly developed ideology about how to play the game, and it ruins the vision for them. If games were more like that, we have our mechanics, we have our series of rules that say, okay, this is how you fight, this is how you heal, this is how you use magic, this is how you move. If you have something like that, and then work around that and give exceptions and give wacky rules, it could make it better for people. But until they do that, people are going to be like, they're going to show the same thing that T-shirt Historian has just said. It's like they only last 6 sessions and that's it, instead of going longer, because at one point the rules just become too overly complicated for them. I mean, I'm playing a campaign with my sister because she's a D&D fiend. I don't get it, but I'm a good older brother. Okay, but you know what my character is? Aside from the fact I love the dwarves, I'm a fighter. Why? Because he's the simplest and most direct mechanics they have in the game. I don't have to worry about shit a lot. So I can go and play it and don't have to overthink it like the rest of them that are magicians. They're wizards. They have magic. So it's like, but because there's so many things on top of it, it's like sometimes one of my cousins is playing with us and she doesn't understand how to use her magic at times. She forgets and she stays with cantrips. My sister's a bard that usually was about buffing, and now she's trying to be more a jack of all trades. And then we had a wizard who was just basically use them as point and shoot. It's like, but there wasn't nuance because there was too much things to work around and they couldn't build something better. And I think that's the problem with most games now.
Purple, have we totally just confused you yet, or are we totally lost you in this?
No, not at all. I'm fascinated. Tabletop gaming is pretty much something that I know nothing about. So getting to listen to you guys talk, it's really interesting.
Wow. I didn't know you didn't play. Okay, we got to get Purple into a game, guys.
Someone get this lady a dice bag.
Yes. Ash, you got to show her your dice and get her interested.
Yeah, the
Tell
whole
her to
dice.
come in Purple.
Yeah.
Do it.
I love the idea of it. I just never
join the dark side. We have cookies.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
And dice.
I'm a cookie fiend. I make a lot of cookies. That's how I get their souls.
I'll share my purple and green dice with you.
There you go.
Now you're talking.
Now that'll bring you in nothing.
Aw.
What's another big gun?
I secretly think that all of the colored, interesting, funky, speckled dice and all that was to entice women to come game, because they see all the sparkly, shiny, clickety-clackety math rocks, and they're like, ooh, I want those. I want a chance to roll those. Because, I mean, half of the dice goblins I know are women. And that's not me being sexist. It's just true.
My sister has about 128 different sets of D&D dice.
See?
Oh, damn, bro.
That must be a really thick Crown Royal bag.
Oh,
She has a massive bag that has a massive eye that says, feed me.
Feed me dice.
Somebody get a concussion.
So, guys,
is it a bag of holding?
No, it's something worse. It's something that's supposedly made of human skin. Of course, it's not, but still, it's leather, right? And painted like human skin, and has an eye.
Oh, dear Lord!
And
I think I've seen that.
Cool.
And she wanted one that had teeth, but they couldn't bring it to our country.
Oh,
damn!
So it was like, oh well, you have to enjoy this bag then. But I mean, but that's what T-shirt says is true. I mean, my sister, I'm like, Jesus Christ, woman! Like, I've paid for custom dice for D&D D6s, like special made for me, right? Just because I like the designs of certain things that Games Workshop doesn't sell. And even I'm like, dude, you have like 7 or 8 times more than I do.
I only have one set of dice.
I have none. I don't.
We'll
get you.
I have none.
We'll get you some
to have a custom set of opal dice made.
Yeah.
Wow.
The
She
first
has.
time I started seeing Dwarven Forge come out with all their dice made out of funky materials like gemstones and stuff like that is when my mind was blown. I mean, think about this. Purple Valkyrie, you could get dice that are actually made of real amethyst
Wow.
for like $200 or $300.
That's crazy.
And usable at the table, and people will spend that.
You can get dice made out of like diamonds. Like the dice are just diamonds. I mean, they probably cost you like $50,000, but if you want to flex, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh god, like how many? My sister actually was kind enough to get me a D8. A D20, right? That has a Bulbasaur in it because I
I
my
think
God,
I'm
I'm so not jelly.
I think I know, Esh's next set.
Ash, I will get you. Write to me on Twitter, DM me on Twitter, and I will get you the name on Etsy of the person who does it because they also do Pokeballs. So also for you, Squeaka. Give me a DM on Twitter, and I can send you the Etsy page so you can actually, if you want to get a set.
Definitely.
Oh my gosh, you're my favorite person ever.
Do they do Pikachu ones?
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Pikachu ones.
Hell yeah.
Do they
I'm
do
definitely
Pikachu?
going to visit that site.
Wizard Jim.
There's another one that does Pokeballs as well.
Wizard Jim mentions he says remember those dice made of fossilized mammoth tusk? Yes, I do. That was Dwarven Forge.
Oh god,
those
I feel
dice
sad.
cost like $250.
Fossilized
sad.
mammoth
Oh
tusk?
man.
Yeah, they actually had mammoth tusk, and that was a
What do they call it?
fossilized
The
mammoth.
tax return special?
I don't know what they called it, but I just remember looking at them and going, "That's way too much money to pay for dice."
Yeah, that's
little bit.
a tax return buy right there.
It is.
Oh god. I mean, well, guys, I gotta go since also I'm being my girlfriend's nurse because she's unfortunately having a very bad period this time.
Ooh.
Like,
You
so-
are a good one, sir.
Oh, you're a good
Yeah.
guy, man.
Girl.
Hat off to you.
Make sure you have plenty of chocolate.
Yes,
I'm
and
taking
ice cream.
brownies that are filled with chocolate chunks I made with Splenda because
Okay,
I'm on a
you are
diet.
That'll do
good,
it.
you're a
There you
good
go.
partner. You're a
That
good
will
partner.
do it,
There you
man.
go.
That will do it.
Yeah.
Start feeding her the marijuana brownies. She'll feel better.
Maybe,
Pop
maybe.
brownies to the rescue.
There you
Maybe,
go.
maybe I will get you guys. Okay, well, have fun, guys. Keep enjoying.
Good idea,
And
Diego.
we
Good
got
luck.
don't forget,
Take
DM
care.
brother.
we can send you the Epsi things. See you guys.
Definitely.
See you, brother.
Take care.
All right. Well, let's see. We're starting to get low on time, so I do not want to leave before we hit what we're supposed to hit here. We
Yeah,
brought
the reason
Nick.
we assembled in the first place.
Yes. We brought Nick on because he has got a new indie project called 2100 Samurai issue number 2. It's the second one. It's up on Indiegogo. It's also why I've got some comic book nerds on this panel.
Oh yeah.
Yo,
Let's
you
see if I can
Yeah.
convert them to the goodness.
So I just posted up the link to that Indiegogo in our chat, and I'm gonna go ahead and show off his YouTube blurb. So here we go. There we go.
Before we go any further, I just wanted to mention that video was made by our boy ANIMAINE Sparkster himself. Please take a bow. I know nobody will see it, but please take a bow.
That was awesome.
That
was awesome.
That was ANIMAINE's work.
I am actually I'm taking just 10 seconds and then I'm shutting the fuck up for the rest of the show because it's the next time to shine. But if any of y'all have any projects that you want a trailer done for, hit me up on the Bird app or in the comment section of my YouTube or anything. I will put something together. We will make it work, and I will create the greatness for you, like you just seen.
ANIMAINE brings the heat. Like, seriously, anyone who needs a trailer done, hire this man. Like I you can't see me, but I'm pointing. You know, hire this man. He's great to work with. He's a joy. He is literally the man. And as you can see, his trailers are literally fire.
Appreciate it.
Well, there
man.
you go.
But it is your time to shine, Nick. So tell them about the awesomeness.
So, as you can see, it's a samurai cyberpunk trailer. You know, yes, literally a street samurai. I saw that comment the Tabletop Junkie made, and it's currently on Indiegogo, and it's the comic itself is all done. I'm just trying to go for a print run and whatnot, and I humbly request that you back it.
Can you say that part again about the book is done?
Yeah, the book is done. I'm just trying to go for a print run.
Okay, please, thank you. Because I know with some campaigns, I know some people, you know, unfortunately, there's different circumstances, right? And some folks they need the Kickstarter or the Indiegogo money to make the book, but the book is done. So if this thing gets fulfilled, the book is coming to you.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
coming.
hoping
It's
to
happening.
have it out for you guys probably July, no later than August.
That's sweet. That's pretty quick.
Oh yeah, I mean, like it's basically just once I get the money, just go straight to the printers and then start sending it out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, who's got questions for Nick over at Project Phoenix? I know that because that is a cool looking concept. I mean, I'm very much an original weeaboo from Wayne today.
When did you kind of start on the idea?
Oh, it's a long time coming. Like I think I first started working on it like my senior year of high school. So we're talking like I'm going to be dating myself here. 05, 06.
Okay.
You know, I'm an old man. So I'm so old. All 34 years. But yeah, I kind of made the first burst of issues, and I kind of rewrote them throughout the years, and then probably started seriously pushing this about 2 or 3 years ago, and that's kind of when I really started working on it.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I feel that, man.
It's like what was like. I know it's probably an egregious process, but do you have a kind of like an insight, just kind of what the process is, just kind of going in from that to being able to run the campaign?
Well, really the hardest part was finding collaborators, and the first go around was kind of tricky because I ran an Indiegogo for it, and it was successful. It's just I had a disagreement with the artist, and he left the book, and then his friend withdrew $1,500 worth of funding from the Indiegogo, and that kind of spun me dead in the water. But I mean, honestly, good things came of it. I managed to kind of salvage what I had, and I came out with issue 1, which honestly I feel like turned out pretty good given what it was. And then, I mean, that wasn't even the end of the troubles because like I had an artist for issue 1, and then she did a great job, but she had to quit due to mental health issues. Kind of tragic, but it is what it is. So I brought someone in to finish the rest of the book, and then he's a guy who's doing issue 2, and I thankfully I work well with him, so that's a good working relationship I've been fostering.
Yeah, it's always real important to find someone that you not only can produce what you want them to, but that you like vibe good with creatively and professionally.
Yeah.
That's when you have that artist writer relationship, and y'all are like a team there, where you're like the writer half, and then how did Mark and Tim phrase it? It's like you got like brains and then the heart. right?
Right,
You need both
right.
to live. And some people think of it like, oh, well, the heart pumps the blood. You need the blood, but then the brain does thinking. Well, if one of them didn't work, you'd equally be dead. So
Yeah,
it's really good that you have that.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people on Twitter, they like to claim, all writers are useless. It's the art that's like the most
No,
important thing.
that's
It's like
not true at all. No,
it's both of them together, because
Yeah,
without art, writing is you're just basically making a novel, and without writing, you're basically just making a picture book.
I think there's a lot of old Image comics written by a certain redheaded doofus that can prove that good art does not necessarily make the comic. You got to have a good story too.
It has to be best of both
Exactly.
worlds. It has to be unison.
Real shit.
Yeah. And, so I come from a writing background myself, and that's basically my specialty. But I always kind of make sure that I work well. I have an artist that I work well with that can do my vision. But I always try to at least kind of give them some room to kind of put their own little touch on the book, because
very important.
Because I feel like that's kind of where the magic happens is in collaboration. And I've had times where like an artist will say to me like, "Hey, I think I should do a panel this way," or like, "Hey, maybe this angle or whatever," and like I let them do it, and it'd be like, "Okay, yeah, that was a better way to go. I was wrong," and I'm happy for it. It just makes my book better in the end.
Yeah,
exactly.
There you go.
Everybody wins.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping we'd have Gary on here because he's a comic book pro himself, and I know he would have liked to have talked to you. But,
that would have been cool.
Yeah.
What advice would you have for someone who wants to get into the Indiegogo thing, and especially for somebody who's probably trying to do both, who's doing to write and art at the same time?
Really, as cliche as it is, I just say don't give up. Persistence pays off. Because I mean, this kind of thing is a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly.
And like, yeah, it's gonna be a long road. It's gonna be tough. You're gonna falter. You're gonna fall flat on your ass. You're gonna say stuff that's gonna piss some people off. You're gonna get into dramas. Okay, I was kind of going down a dark path there, but like,
right,
you know what I'm saying. And it just keep going, just keep swimming. Eventually you'll get to where you need to be.
Pretty cool. And your artist is Argentinian? Wow.
Yes, he is actually. Yeah, I found him on Fiverr. He's a really cool guy.
That's a cool guy.
Yes, I'm looking at the art at the moment, and I'm absolutely loving the panel layout and the movement of the characters.
Aw, thank you.
And it's such a unique style. It's like you don't. It's not like something that you would just pick up any old comic book and see. Like when I think of 2100 Samurai, this is what's going to pop in my head. Like there's no mistaking it for anything else.
Right.
There's no copying off of nothing. It is just this, and it works, and it sells the book. Its uniqueness helps to sell the book, and that's beautiful when you have some really good stylized art like that.
Yeah, my approach for the book was kind of like an East meets West, like Japanese manga meets American comics kind of feel to it. And like obviously I'm inspired by my favorite cyberpunk stuff, like Ghost in the Shell, Blade Runner, with touches of Batman Beyond, a little bit there, here and there,
Yeah.
Oh, you like my deep voice?
Lord.
But yeah.
It also kind of reminds me of Sin City, looking at it.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I can see that, definitely, yeah.
Especially with it being in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this kind of hits two areas of interest for me because, like I said, I'm a weeaboo from way back in the day. I'm also a trained swordsman in, Japanese fencing. Anything dealing with samurai and katana play interests me. For the first
as soon as I saw your intro, I'll be like, "Oh, I got him."
Yeah, and then of course, my other love, of course, is cyberpunk. I adore cyberpunk, and I'm still trying to get Mike Pondsmith on here.
Oh, dear
anybody
God,
knows,
that would be great.
Anybody knows Mike Pondsmith? Please tell him I'm still looking for him.
Oh wow. Dear God, that would be an interesting stream because, like, oh wow,
it would be awesome. I'd have people lined up to want to play or to watch. or to
Hell,
talk
I
to him,
want to
think.
be on the stream just to talk to the guy.
There you go. Yes, Priz, I'm a weeaboo, but I'm a weeaboo from way back before it was actually a thing, you know?
You're a classy weeaboo.
He's
So
been a
am I.
weeb so long, he's not even a weeb. He's an otaku.
I'm an otaku.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
graduated.
Yes, I'm otaku.
I watch Japanimation. I don't watch
Exactly.
Oh, 90s called. They want their turn back.
anime. Yeah. My favorite anime of all time is probably the original Macross, Super Dimension Fortress.
Oh,
Macross.
now we're getting 80s.
There you go. There's some old stuff.
Yeah, followed by Berserk.
Oh, Berserk.
What made
Man.
you? I guess that's the other question. What made you want to go completely black and white? Because you don't see. I might be wrong here, but you don't see that many crowdfunded books that are completely done in black and white.
That's true.
That's
I
true.
mean,
That's true.
as much as I'd like to say it was like, oh, it's an inspired choice. I'm such an artiste. No, it was really a practical decision because, like, when I was doing issue 1, originally it was meant to be colored, but I couldn't really line up a colorist. So I was like, fuck it, I'll do it in black and white. And the more I thought about it, the more I feel like, okay, I actually like this direction better because I kind of realized I could
It
go
starts to
more
make more
manga.
sense in black and white, actually.
Yeah,
because
That
it
manga
hits
feel,
that.
yep.
Yeah, and it hits
Yep.
that, and it will hit that. It'll hit that Kurosawa feel to it as well.
Yes.
exactly, and,
Yep.
and it
Yeah,
just makes
yeah.
more sense, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
do like
man,
that because most of the time you think of cyberpunk, you think of neon and you think of lots of lights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of my plan. I was gonna tell like a colorist, like, I want those hazy neon lights. And if you kind of look at the book, it was kind of actually drawn with a lot of those lights in mind.
Now, at some point, would you ever plan on like, let's say like this just blows up and you're just like making a killing off of it? Would you ever convert like future versions to like make a colored version?
I probably would. I probably will at some point. Like it's on the table, but it's not really a priority kind of thing.
Right.
Like basically, my priority is getting this first volume done, and then kind of go on from there. Like, sure, if it's doing a not doing a color version would basically be leaving money on the table. So I'll probably do it at some point, but it's just not really
Yeah, that's
high on the
it's
list.
more down the line.
Yeah,
Tackling what's in front of you first. I feel that.
I love that art, by the way. That's really tight.
And yes, it's
Yeah.
on paper. To answer your question, yes, it's on paper. But yeah, no,
It looks really good.
Really intrigued. Thank you. No, I'm really intrigued by that. I'm really intrigued by black and white stuff and such like that, and just kind of seeing where, just learning insight from other people who went out and did it, because we're seeing. The thing is, I'm seeing more and more and more nowadays that so many more people are, putting stuff out on Indiegogo, on Kickstarter. It's not just CG, but it's more than that. There's so many indie stuff coming out, and it's just so many amazing success stories.
Yeah, it's kind of sorry.
Sorry, I mean, I know I say CG stuff, but of course, me and ANIMAINE will say it happily. Freaking fucking Common America.
Let's go.
Oh my god, that book is killing me.
By the way, I missed out on book 5. I did not back book 5, and I completely
That's
missed
fine.
out on it.
They're gonna throw it on Indiegogo in a couple.
Yeah, I'm
weeks
gonna have to get
anyway,
I'm gonna have to get the omnibus for it.
Those
Oh,
people
good,
have
man.
hit upon a gold mine. Like
They
seriously.
did, and it's starting. It's like starting with nothing. It's like starting with very little and just
and they just had the 2-year anniversary of the release of issue 1 this week, I think. And I'm like,
awesome.
Are you serious? It's been that long? But yeah.
I mean, who knows? Maybe by issue 3 or 4, the stuff starts to pop off, and
it becomes its own IP. It becomes its own IP.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be you, Nick, one day. So
it will be. It will be, and you guys would be like, oh, I know the 200 Samurai guy.
Yeah, it's just like that's why I love listening to that. I love following those stories because I used to back so many books. Like I have an entire shelf of nothing but all the books I backed.
Mm-hmm.
and I've done
Yep,
since
same
like
here.
2017. So it's
Freaking
it's so
amazing, man.
amazing. It's freaking amazing, and
And
it's just
it's
like
yeah.
it's inspiring because it's just like, you know what, at some point that's gonna be me doing that.
Yeah,
It's
this
gonna
I
be
love
me.
this explosion of just
Yeah.
genuine creativity that we're in right now, and
Mhm.
seeing people who are, going after their own authentic artistic vision and interacting and bonding with fans and audience members and stuff is a beautiful thing. I'm glad we can all be a part of this movement.
And you know what? You know what? I'm going to say it right now. I still think we haven't really hit the peak of indie comics. I feel
No.
like because like if you look at the indie game movement, we're like way far behind. We're in like the late 2000s of indie game development. Like we haven't even hit like niche net yet. We haven't even hit like wide stream niche yet. We're still more underground. We haven't even hit the early 2000s of indie game development. Literally.
There's
Very
still
true.
like so much more room to grow, and I do think that, there will not be a I don't think there's a plateau. I don't think there's going to be a ceiling for this. I think it's going to keep going and going. There's always going to be just like this, a lot of people have said that, a lot of the strength of the industry is going to rely on the indies because they probably feel disenfranchised by the big two or just wanting to get their own shit out. And I think that now is like the perfect time to do it. Now is the perfect time to really put what you've been working on for years and for some cases for decades, just that one little idea that you've been working on for so long and finally putting it out.
Yeah, the big explosion hasn't even happened yet. Like the big
No.
mainstream explosion. And honestly, anybody, even if you're just getting started now, by the time it does explode, you'll be well established and you'll be well positioned to take care of it. Like you think Common America makes a shit ton of money now? Imagine when things go mainstream.
Right. Imagine when it becomes mainstream, you're gonna see more and more. And I think it's just like I'm really inspired. I'm really inspired by this, and I'm really
Yeah,
hoping
man. This is
right
basically the Harlem Renaissance of nerd shit, and we're just
Oh,
sitting here
yeah.
watching this movement just blossom. It's a really
Right.
it's frustrating as it is to deal with a lot of the stupid shit from the mainstream. It's also a
Yeah.
beautiful thing to be a part of what's
Mhm.
rising, in its wake.
Right.
It really
and,
is.
and it's just that amazing feeling that it's your own creation. It's your own IP that's what's helping the
Yeah.
movement. That's what's you're helping the movement by putting your own shit out. And
Exactly.
it's and I appreciate the fact that it's it is in some way it is a meritocracy. It's just like the best will definitely stand out more. There will definitely be underrated ones, but you just have to keep going. It's just like you just have to keep going. It's like it's a like I said,
keep
it's a
going.
marathon. It's not a sprint.
Exactly.
And you're and I like to think that you could be at a point where if this does well, this will be like the way that you could make a living because now we're seeing people make a living off of their craft.
That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm trying to do. Honestly, I'm trying to make this my job.
And I think there's such a vast audience out there. There will always be someone who will be interested in what you have to say and what you create. So I'm really excited for you and I hope this goes so well.
Yeah, So now I just need people to back the Indiegogo and get this thing funded.
I'll definitely take a look at it. Our products, our brand is very niche. How do you bring heroic, old school, high fantasy to a 5th edition audience? Most people will reject it. They're not interested in it. So I don't know if I can make a living on it, but I want to try. I'm not gonna
Give
just
it a good old college try.
Yeah, give it the try. I don't want to go back to. I love OSR, but I don't want to go back to the first edition just yet.
My thing is, niche or not, do it because you're passionate about it.
Yeah, that's my
you're most
thing.
passionate about it. That's where if you're very passionate about it, you're gonna go through it regardless.
Yeah, that's advice to people. Write with passion, write well. Like if I have a story idea and
If your heart's
the
in it,
idea of that story doesn't excite me, if I'm not in like I want to write this down, I want to see the story play out, it's not worth doing. That's my thing.
Oh, I agree.
No, of course not. No tears from the author, no tears from the audience.
No.
I
Mm-hmm.
100% agree. But when your bank account is in the negative, you need story only goes so far.
It can only go
You
so
are.
far.
I-
So I think a perfect conflict.
I can-
You dust off the
Amen,
transcript
and
and send
amen
them to
again.
DC.
Oh my
That's when
gosh.
you dust off the transcript and send them to DC Comics.
That's one of the things I really do like about being up on YouTube and streaming is the fact that I can help promote other people. Whether it's helping out friends like ANIMAINE or Becca with funding they need for their personal lives and their own home interests and things that they need to take care of, or people's dreams like Nick or Greg and others who I've helped back, Grim even, getting the word out through YouTube is actually my favorite way to do these things and to help people out, because it's like, yes, I can always put money in these people's projects, but I'm not a rich guy. I can't necessarily even afford the top of the line of whatever it is that they have, like the $500 tier and all that stuff. That's way out of my price range in most cases. But I figure if I can make a video and I can get the word out and people will just somehow hear about it out there, either through Twitter or through YouTube, maybe somebody who can afford the $500 tier will hit these guys and make their dreams come true.
I love
Every
that.
little bit helps. Every little bit helps.
Yeah. So
for real.
T-shirt. I think you should make some kind of Discord or maybe a gilded type of server where we can all hang out and chat.
People have been asking me about a Discord for a long time now, and my only thought was this is kind of like, well, I could make a Discord, but I'd almost hardly ever be on it. But
that was the problem I had.
Yeah, but I mean, Mauler and all these other big guys have Discords, and I don't think they hang out on them much either. But at least they're places to for the fans to congregate.
They're more like congregation places just for the fans and friends of the show and stuff. We're basically just there to make sure everything stays running every now and then and drop a link. But 95% of the legwork is just the people in there.
Exactly.
And then it's all done by the mods.
I would consider in the future Gilded. They're an alternative to Discord, and they are a lot more freedom of speech friendly. You're not going to have any repressive kind of end user license agreements or anything like that, like Discord is trying to do. So maybe think about that.
I may do that. I do have a Gilded membership, and I have a few friends who are already on Gilded as far as they have chats and things like that for more privatized discussions and things. So that may be a way to go, which is kind of sad because I really liked Discord. I supported it from the very beginning, but I find it irritating now that they do not support everybody anymore.
I mean? Like all things, once the investor money comes in, it's all downhill from there.
Yeah, you get big money backing you up, and then all of a sudden they start having a say in everything you do. And
first, it's like, hey, could you maybe do this little thing, and they're like, oh, we are helping you with money, and they just keep ratcheting it up.
Yeah, it's like an exertion of control over what you do, and
that's all really all this is. It's all about power and control.
Yeah,
always.
But anyway, we're about 7 minutes from 2 hours. Well, actually, probably closer to 10 minutes. So, do we have any closing things for Nick? Anybody out there, or
please back my campaign.
Do you have? Let me ask you this: do you have multiple tiers, or you just kind of like?
Yeah, I have multiple tiers. Where you buy like the book, Hollow, Collector's Edition. I got stickers on offer in the Collector's Edition done by Mrs. H. She did a great job. And then you can get your name in the book. You can actually get drawn into the book. I got limited edition prints, be it that are done. I pretty much got the gamut.
And I know you're definitely looking. I know you probably got plans to expand more in future campaigns, especially if this really does take off, right?
Yeah, I'm already planning my next campaign.
Yes, I love it. The plans, it just grows and
They
grows
come together,
and grows.
baby. They come together.
Yeah, the next one is going to be more of a traditional modern day kind of superhero kind of thing. You can expect that one here in October.
Would you, at some point, let me ask you this: at some point down the line, are you looking into, building like your own like universe where you can do crossovers?
That's my
within
plan.
Universe.
So Turn Samurai set kind of in the future, so it's kind of got like its own kind of self-contained bubble. But like my modern day stories will all connect to each other.
And then it kind of builds up. Each is its own story. It's self-contained, but at some point it's definitely you're gonna see the world unfold, and it's gonna build up.
Yeah, like for sure. Like in my next series, there's actually elements that are kind of meant to set up a third book that I got planned. So.
It's just at some point down the line, at some point, maybe years down the line, it's going to lead to you putting out a campaign for this event that is just like this generational crossover where you're bringing every character from all.
Who says I don't already have plans for that?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Let's just say it would be a real synergy saga.
Well,
yeah, I just dropped the name. Boom.
Yeah. Y'all remember this day.
Yes,
mark it in your calendars.
As it has been written, the synergy saga shall come.
So it's on YouTube now, so it's got to be true, right?
Does this mean a synergy saga? Does this mean a synergy saga cinematic universe? Maybe down the line.
Oh, it's just a massive crossover event, kind of like a Crisis on Infinite Earth type of thing. Yeah, I got this really cool idea, and actually, the synergy saga is basically going to be the way that I bring in like mutants into my world, because like Synergy Saga is basically the story of like what would happen if people with superpowers suddenly appeared on our Earth. So in Synergy Saga, a virus breaks out that kills a bunch of people, but the people who survive, a portion of them start developing superpowers, and so it kind of breaks into two different groups. You have the blessed and the cursed. The blessed are the ones who have the pretty powers like heat vision, angel wings. They're escalated to the top of society. And then the cursed are the ones with the ugly powers. They don't look the best or whatever. They're second-class citizens. And it's, there's a kind of a heavy religious element to it. And then like after that book is it's going to make, there's going to be like a bunch of characters from all my different books that are like going to turn into advents, and then I got this idea for like this a guy named Barricade who basically he's like anything that tries to run into him can't, like, so he's bulletproof. Like you could have like Thor's hammer, Thor could try to throw his hammer at him and it would just bounce off, kind of thing.
You need to go get that guy for 100.
He's like, can't touch this.
Yeah, sounds dope. SSCU, can't wait. Soon comes.
Amazing.
I can't wait.
All right, guys. Well, Nick, Greg, I wish you guys much success. Like I said, Greg, I'm already backing you on your project.
Hope to see your name pop up.
I appreciate it. I wanted to throw something out there real quick, if you don't mind, just kind of a quick self-promo thing.
Sure.
I have been talking to the director of interactive media for Legendary Pictures. This isn't necessarily official just yet, but they have expressed interest in us making a Pacific Rim tabletop RPG.
Take my money! Take my money! Take all my money! Take all my money!
Even if it doesn't happen this year, we are going to make a giant kaiju versus robot like combat battle tactical RPG. And I've already got some artists on board who are familiar with it, so that's going to be a big project.
Just take my money. Take all my
Anyone
money.
who's
Take my
into
money.
giant monster battles and looking for that like visceral like momentum of huge monsters fighting each other, we're
Guilty.
gonna have it later this year.
Take all my money,
Aw,
please.
there
Take
you
all the
go.
money that I will ever earn. Here, just take it. Take this big wad of cash.
Thank you.
You know who else is into big anime and mecha? Squeaka. Squeaka's into that.
Yeah, who's currently muted, so we can't even hear whatever spicy comments she would have.
Well, don't be calling me out like that.
Yeah. I know you.
Spotlight is
You
over.
want to hop in the mech suit and go whoop some kaiju butt.
Well, okay, yeah.
See?
Do do
Knew
do
it.
do do
I knew
do
it.
do 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 do.
Here we go. This goes with your news.
Canceling the apocalypse.
I am a huge Kamen Rider fan, so that just made my day.
I knew ANIMAINE was too, so.
Hell yeah.
There you go. I was saving that up for you guys.
I appreciate it. Saving the best for last.
Yes. And and don't forget, we always, as always, we have our special guest Az, who is never on this show.
Fucking ass. Stop ditching.
Fucking Az.
Oh, come on.
Look, it's more coffee. It's coffee time again. Because all ladies do is we just buy coffee all day. And then we sit around and talk about how we want to fucking scissor. Oh my God.
Purple, I understand you know Az personally.
I do. He's a sweetheart.
Good. Could you tell him to start answering his freaking
I am out of this one. I am out of this one.
Yes. I mean, the t-shirted one wishes to have words with him.
The t-shirted one.
Anyway. No, seriously. I would love to get on the show with him someday. I don't care if it's on my channel or his channel, whatever. Because I actually used to follow Az way back when he was doing World of Warcraft coverage. So when he made the switch to pop culture coverage and everything like that, I was like I was even deeper entrenched. And now he's in there with all the big boys, and I'm just like, dang, dude, I just want to hang out with you and like talk stuff. He's too big for me now. That's okay.
I will beg to differ. I beg to differ. I beg to differ.
You beg to differ?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you don't realize some of the big boys, they may be watching.
Hello, Az.
Besides,
How you doing?
No, I mean this real talk. That stream I did with Purple, she reached out to me. You don't know who's watching, guys. Seriously. You never know who's actually watching.
Oh, great. Then I shouldn't be here.
Girl,
you don't
seriously
listen.
You would be
Squeaka,
surprised.
do you know how many people want you on their show now because you appeared here? Do you know?
Only the crazies? I mean, like, let's seriously.
You say that as if it's a bad thing.
Snowdub has been wanting you on his channel forever now.
I want to stream with Squeaker.
See?
Oh, but that's just to do voiceovers and weird
Okay,
stuff.
well, Purple's not like that. Look, here's Purple.
You do realize that you do realize the amount of people in my chat 2 Sundays ago who want a Squeaka Purple sculpting stream. You do.
Oh my God.
I want to whip out the Play-Doh, make a little pig.
Yes.
That would be one of the top 10 anime crossovers of all time.
There were people asking, and Purple can attest to what I'm saying.
It's true.
There were people freaking asking for it. Okay.
I have to change my name to like Morado Mouse or something to fit with the whole purple theme.
You're Mauser.
There you go.
I'm just saying, dude. Anything is possible here, man. Anything is possible.
Oh, well,
You never know who's watching. You never realize.
Very true.
see, there you go. Awesome one. Awesome one will follow you.
Y'all
There
are
you go.
so sweet. Thanks, guys. I just am here to listen and to be the devil's advocate. That's all.
But you do a good job at that, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted you on the show too, because it's like, not only are you nice to listen to and you're a nice person, but you're also a very good devil's advocate. And sometimes we need that.
bad.
It's because you got that devilish charm.
And also, you
Got what?
You, Squeaker, you are the fan. You are the fan that everybody loves having.
That
you
is
are
true.
that kind of fan.
That's true.
Are you saying this because people want her to want them to blow her?
No.
What?
No. Nick. I did a little sketch, and she absolutely lost her mind. I brought her.
Oh my god! It's not a little sketch. It's the best thing ever.
I brought her into the CS. I bring her into my CSF Nation chat, and she is absolutely overwhelmed by how many artists are in there. So it's just.
I'm telling you, if Squeaky ever became a VTuber, her channel would blow up.
She should. She should.
Hey, but I'm serious, marketing. Like, there's so many people in there. It's like when you're like freaking like dandelion in a rose garden or some shit. Like, it's like, hello, all you gods and goddesses. I'm just here to provide the grapes.
No,
like,
listen.
That is the quote of the episode.
That doesn't matter. Even if it only lasts 1 week, take the money and run. Just like the song. Take the money and run.
Another thing is, you fail to realize how strong of a first impression you can make. Because listen, if you're able to get me to reach out to actually make an avatar just for you, that shows that you've made a really good first impression.
Oh my god, I still can't believe you said that either. Oh my god.
Listen to that.
Sorry.
Listen to that.
I meant every word I said. I meant that.
I'm going to give Squeaka a minute to compose herself while I regale you guys with this historical fact.
You know Holland invented chicken and waffles? Really? Before that, you can only get chicken or waffles. But they were the first to put them together. Black people all over the world would be forever grateful to the Dutch for that.
You do know the Dutch started the slave trade.
Those motherfuckers!
Those motherfuckers!
Every time. I get Mac with that every time.
I mean, I do appreciate the compliments, guys, and I really do. I listen to so many people talk, and there are so many different just shows and things, and I mean, I'm like the jack of all trades. I know so many tiny weird bits and pieces of things, but I mean, I don't know, like, y'all are just also amazing. I mean, yeah.
Squeaka, I know like
But
about
thank
like
y'all for the compliments.
I know about like 8 or 9 different things about what medieval people used to do with urine. I mean, that's not really that exciting for most people.
Plus, people want to know more about your whole Sailor Moon prison story.
Squeaker, have you ever thought about doing ASMR?
Oh my god.
She has the perfect ASMR voice.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Hey, listen. You know what? Just here in weird RPG tabletop land, we have so many people here in this awesome channel, and they're all contributing. Anything any of you want to do or don't want to do, but if you want to do a project, I guarantee it's going to be a success. This is such a weird landscape in terms of pop culture and like whatever is going on in the RPG space. Do whatever you want to do, promote it, you will be a success. I guarantee. It doesn't matter.
If you build it,
they will come.
Yeah, let's get people to come on over.
All right.
You don't realize how many people that are probably clinging for this kind of content until you realize they show up at your door. You don't realize that you don't realize that you have potential to get normal people who probably are into this kind of thing you're into to get them into it.
That is always true.
Get yourself out there.
Yeah, you think what your interests are niche until you discover that there's entire communities that are interested in what you are, and I know you know what I am talking about, Squeaka.
Absolutely, man.
The way I see it, if EL James can be successful writing, turning a really bad Twilight fanfic into a really smutty novel, and get like 3 movies out of it, anything is possible.
So you mean to tell me there's people out there that love learning about verbal components and behaviors and like
Yes.
how behavior is just a form of communication and all the tiny verbal components for not
You have no idea the kind of YouTube videos I watch, Tweakers. Trust me.
Right, and another thing is that, you know, getting it mainstream is not the only path to success, because stuff can be successful and not be mainstream. You can still like something like look at what Nick does. Nick, it may not get mainstream attention, but it could get a cult following.
The cult of the samurai.
Yeah. There's a niche for niche.
There's a niche for everything.
There's
something for
Nick
everyone.
has a niche.
Always.
There are YouTube streams and YouTube channels of these Indian guys who are like professors of mathematics who do like tutorials in calculus and like trigonometry and shit like that I don't care about.
I know.
And they have like a million views per like, it doesn't matter how mundane your stuff is or how you think it is. Right, there's gonna be an audience.
Yes, it is. And that's the beauty of humanity itself. You know,
there's so many avenues and interests. Like, I don't know if it's still here or still vibrant, but I remember at some point I was doing something a few years ago, and it was just on autoplay, and I stumbled down like a YouTube rabbit hole of like pipe smokers, and there's a whole like pipe smoking community of it. I'm like, how?
Yeah.
But
our buddy
like
Ords,
hundreds of thousands of views. So no, whatever you want to do, whatever your interest is, there are untold numbers of people who will throw money and attention at you for it. So do the damn thing, because there's people out there for it. If it's a passion of yours, there's no such thing as a thing where you are the only person into this. If you are passionate about something, there are other people out there who are passionate. And like y'all were saying before, people who want it and want this stuff the exact way you're doing it, but nobody else is out here doing it because your ass ain't started doing it yet. So get off your magnificent
If you're passionate about it,
What if my interest is watching Valkyrie make dinos?
Put it this way. Let me make an example. Squeaka. So
all right.
we talked about Squeaka. We talked about complimenting Squeaka all the time. Squeaka is already building a fan base behind her. I guarantee if somebody put out a comic of just her, if she was able to put a comic together of just like the adventures of Squeaka Mouse or something like that.
So you're saying Squeaka already has Sims?
Yes.
Yeah.
I should make a comic based on my prison story.
Nate knows what I'm talking about.
Oh my god, that prison story! Do you know how much traction that is getting? That's one of my more watched videos.
If you released a comic on like Indiegogo or Kickstarter, I guarantee you probably get like 30 to 60K minimum.
Instantly.
Well, maybe in the first.
You'd be funded in like 5 minutes. Like you probably end the campaign with like 200K.
All right, guys.
You built enough.
Yeah.
Build it up.
Yeah, I think T-shirt's trying to shut down, but
Yeah.
the support continues and echoes and radiates on.
It does, and
I
just don't like a lot of attention either, so this is great. I really appreciate it, guys. But y'all can go back to pop culture now.
Yes.
Let's go for another hour and praise Squeaka. Everybody in the chat, shall we?
No.
Yes.
Oh, look at the time. I gotta go.
T-shirt, hit the kill button quick. Hit the kill switch.
Uh-oh.
We've reached max capacity.
Okay. Take care, everyone. This has been the
Bye,
Week in
everybody.
Geek. We'll see you
Bye.
next week.
Hi, everybody.
Take care.
Catch you guys later.
So.
Oh, look, it's more Squeaka.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Wake the fuck up, samurai. We have a city to burn.
Inside this searching